much. Welcome to TNT. In a moment, we'll take you by way of videotape footage to a gentleman about ready to make his entrance into the World Wrestling Federation. He certainly has extraordinary military credentials, having been in the 82nd Airborne for some time. Distinguished gentleman as far as his service to his country is concerned here in the United States. And soon we're going to take a look at him actually wrestling. Right now, however, we will take you to Mean Gene Okerlund. Mean Gene Okerlund is on assignment, as only Mean Gene Okerlund can be. So let's take you now to Mean Gene Okerlund on assignment, along with the gentleman who will be entering the World Wrestling Federation. His name is Corporal Kirchner.
All right, continuing on assignment, the final leg, I hope, of this particular assignment of the World Wrestling Federation. This is Gene Okerlund. My sources tell me, located in here is the base camp of Corporal Kirchner. We're going to see if we can find it. Come along. This is a tremendously dense, remote jungle area. A tremendous number of palms. It has rained. You can still hear thunder periodically. The humidity has got to be 95 or 100%. I am literally soaking wet, and the heat is unbearable. This is the training ground for Corporal Kirchner. He served with the 82nd Airborne. Are you still with us? Come on. All right. And of course, this is where he makes his final mental and physical preparations. Oh, Corporal Kirchner, I found him. Come on. Makes his final mental and physical preparations for your entry into the World Wrestling Federation.
Mean Gene, you don't quit, do you? You followed me 12,000 feet in the air. You followed me through swamps. You followed me through jungles. I spent 2 months out here by myself, and all of a sudden, you show up and you follow me all over the place. You got to be a determined man, Mean Gene. What's the story?
Well, it's my job, and certainly the fans of the World Wrestling Federation want to know specifically what you're doing in preparation. I understand the gun goes, and on come the boots and the tights.
That's right. This is the last time I'm ever going to be using this weapon. I'm putting it away. I just cleaned it up. And that's it for this. What I'm going to be using is right here, my own 2 hands for hand-to-hand combat in the squared circle. Going into professional wrestling. This is what this whole thing's been about. Recon, Recondo, airborne, jungle training, swamp training, everything. I've been out here. I have not been in civilized place at all. My head is ready, physically and mentally, Mean Gene. I am ready.
Are you ready?
Yes,
Corporal?
sir.
Are you ready,
Yes,
Corporal?
sir. And I'm ready. All I got to tell is my opponents is you better be ready.
Well, you get ready. Ladies and gentlemen, throughout the World Wrestling Federation, this man is on the way. He is Corporal Kirchner.
Yes, indeed, on the way to the World Wrestling Federation. In a moment, our very first guest this week on TNT is certainly on his way, as he has been since he entered the first match in the World Wrestling Federation from Auckland, New Zealand. Would you welcome, please, Tony Garea. All right, Tony, welcome back to TNT.
Thank you, Vince.
Been a long time.
Has been a while.
Any ventures back to your native homeland as of late?
Yes, Vince. Approximately 8 months ago, I had a little tour down there for about 2 weeks and thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'll be looking forward to going back.
A lot of sheep down there, aren't there?
Well, they outnumber us by a little bit. There's approximately 60 million sheep down there, Vince.
Alfred, you'll be right at home. We have some. I think we have some videotape footage of New Zealand, as a matter of fact, that we're going to roll right now, and maybe you can give us a little guided tour, if you would. Many of us, by myself, I've never been to New Zealand. I don't know too much about it, but let's have Tony Garea take us on a little guided tour. What's this, Tony?
All right, here's this.
Yeah,
the
look like
middle of
Alfred.
North Island. That's the mineral springs. There's a steam comes up from the.
You sure that's not Alfred's? Is that where he gets his makeup? What's this?
This is hot mineral water coming up from the
Was
ground.
that an example of the beauties, such as it is from New
Well, that
Zealand?
was a small example. Yes, we try to keep it secret down there.
Oh, I see. Now, this is a sky hook, right? No.
Yes, that was a sky lift, and this is probably Marlborough Sound, which is on the tip of the South Island. Inland waterway.
Is that snow?
That's snow on the southern.
No,
lips.
Alfred, that's cotton on top of the hills up there. Oh, no, wait a minute. Now it's springtime.
There's a few of the flowers. That's possibly Christchurch down the South Island.
They really move here, don't they? And this is a fast guided tour. We're going to take you all the way around.
Okay, all the way. That's probably the Pacific Ocean down off the west coast of New Zealand.
A lot of sailing going on?
A lot of sailing down. You're going to see some fishing here.
Was that one of your relatives there we saw fishing? No. This is not your footage. This is just footage from New Zealand in general.
This is right. Those are small fish. Now you're going to see some of the big game fish. There's a big marlin, I believe. Now there's a lot of that down there, and they're very easy to catch. And this is a jet boat coming up one of the rivers. Jet boat was developed in New Zealand, I believe. You watch this little turn here. You keep a good close eye on this and see if you got a boat that can do this. Look at this.
Holy
How about that? Because a game of cricket, this is our summer game.
Good, well done.
You know about that, don't you, Millard?
Here's His Lordship's last date. No. There she is in the first row. She's rounding the turn now. No. And there's some of the offsprings. I don't know.
Some fillies out there. And there's the sheep there.
Lots of sheep offered.
Yes.
60 million.
Yes. I like the
How many?
Cricket.
60 million.
60 million.
And there's 30 million cattle there,
I wonder
too.
if Vince has ever heard of leg before wicket.
Leg before wicket?
It's a way of getting a man out.
Way of getting a
If
man...
he's in, that's it.
If he's in... I think maybe we should discuss this after the show.
Yes.
Now, cricket. Yeah, Alfred, you played cricket. Did you ever play cricket, Tony?
Definitely. During my days at high school, that was the game. As baseball is the game over here in America.
What other games were you? Well, I know from reputation you were playing a lot of games in New Zealand. But what other games were you playing? You know, organized, so to speak.
Rugby, of course.
Rugby.
Rugby. That's similar to American football, except there's no forward passing. All the passing is lateral.
And no suits of armor.
No suits of armor at all.
No pads.
No pads. Rugby shirt, pair of shorts. Cleats and
where you developed those massive legs and the beers.
I guess it had something to do with it. Notice a lot of rugby players, they have big thighs and big calves.
It's sprinting more.
Well, it's 2 45-minute halves. There's no breaks. It's 45 minutes. You have a 5-minute break, then you go out for another 45 minutes, and just do your best to knock your opposition out.
Well, you're doing the best, no doubt, to knock opposition out here in the World Wrestling Federation you have for some time. We have, as a matter of fact, since you asked, more footage on Tony Garea. Although on this occasion, this will not be the footage from New Zealand. As a matter of fact, we will take you now and what Tony is best known for inside the squared circle in the World Wrestling Federation.
Jesse's got his hands full with Tony Garea. He wants to take on about a half a dozen ringsiders as well. Nice arm wringer now by Garea as he goes to work on the left arm and shoulder of the body. Oh, snapped him right over with it. Go ahead, Tony. What are you waiting on?
Oh, he's playing his own mind games now. Garea is actually playing his own mind games. And the crowd loves it too. They want to see Jesse taunted just as much as he was taunting Garea.
Another one of the big matchups here in Madison Square Garden as the World Wrestling Federation continues to be the king of professional wrestling. Garea now putting pressure on that wrist lock. Look at how he's bending. It doesn't bend that way very far, Lord, before something breaks. Jesse's got to come up, get to his feet. Garea going to work now.
He's chosen Jesse's left arm. He obviously thinks there's something a little weak in that arm.
Well, you got to find a part and go to work on it. I would go to work on one of his legs. They look weak to me. If any part of his body was weak, I would say it would be the calf area. Yes.
Yeah, the calf area looks a little bit... I hate to say this about Jesse because he works so hard, I know, in the gymnasium.
I know he does,
calves
but
do look a bit skinny.
You know, look at the... Someone told me he might have wrapped him with some newspaper as well before he put on those long tights. I don't know if there's any truth in that or not, but I'll have to ask Jesse about that.
You're cruel, Gorilla.
The body, look at this eye rake across the top rope.
Oh, my word.
The body very pleased with himself now.
Oh.
You're a little late, ref. It's already gone down.
And the cheek, the right cheek.
Oh, Garea was playing possum, caught Jesse coming in. Watch this.
Oh, left arm again. Ooh.
Tony Garea dropped right off the ring apron.
Coming back in very quickly.
And is he doing a number on that left arm? Yes, he is.
All right, some highlights of the match with you and Jesse the Body Ventura from Madison Square Garden, where you have made many a fan, no doubt, in Madison Square Garden.
Well, I've certainly had my share of matches at Madison Square Garden, but it's probably about, over the years, close to 200, I guess.
It's amazing.
Gosh, that must be nearly a record. You held the tag team title on a couple of occasions, didn't you?
5.
As a matter of fact, I think that record still stands. We're going to take you, ladies and gentlemen, where you can perhaps see Tony Garea in upcoming matches all over. And from there, we'd like to invite you to stay with us and maybe do something a little more American. There's, as a matter of fact, maybe Silver Dollar Saloon may be your cup of tea here. A little something different than they have back in New Zealand.
Doesn't quite go together, Silver Dollar cup of tea.
Maybe it does. I don't know.
With
Here
me
on,
it would.
on
With
TNT,
me it would go.
on TNT, it just might go.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be right back with more TNT. In a moment, ladies and gentlemen, our guest, certainly no strangers to the fans of the World Wrestling Federation, one of the all-time greats, perhaps on his way to becoming a champion, no doubt of that. Would you please welcome, well, he's known as Mr. Wonderful. Would you welcome Paul Orndorff? How is Mr. Wonderful these days?
Well, I tell you what, he couldn't feel better than he does right now. I think that my life has really taken a roundabout turn because of the circumstances that's happened here in the last 2 or 3 months. And, you know, I've always had that faith, and those people are behind me now. I'll tell you what, they are my faith, and I really feel good about the whole situation.
At the same time, when we see you step into the ring, I mean, that electricity is there perhaps as it never was before. I mean, you always had the determination, that look down and way down deep in the eye. I mean,
that's true.
But now it seems like there's even more electricity. When you walk into, just walking to the ring, we begin to feel the vibrations in the arena.
Well, you know, Vince, you know, the way it used to be, let's say, and the way it is right now, you got all those people out there behind you, and you got all those kids and, you know, just so on and so on, and it does hype you up. It does get that adrenaline going, and I got a cause now, and I feel good about myself, and I think that my intensity is just grown even more.
All right.
I feel very good.
What we'd like to do is to show a little bit of that intensity, if we may. We'll take you now to a matchup in which Mr. Orndorff will be meeting a gentleman by the name of The Axe. Let's take you to the videotape.
Weighing 252 pounds, Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff.
Look at the intensity on the face of Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff. He is ready for action. He looks straight ahead when he's walking to the ring. If he can, right into the eyes of his opponent. He is all business in there. From behind, Orndorff turned his back on the Axe. The Axe hammering away on the back of the head of Paul Orndorff. Orndorff retaliating. Hammering it down goes the Axe. Orndorff ramming the knee into the Axe. The Axe now being set up by Paul Orndorff. Oh, with a clothesline. Oh, look at this, just like that. Setting him up now for the power. Oh, my. Oh, no, wait a minute. Roddy Piper. Roddy Piper hammering away on Paul Orndorff. 20, no, from Hammer. Orndorff and Piper going at it like two wild dogs. Piper and Orndorff hammering away. Piper running into the match, trying to collect a $25,000 bounty. Oh, no, oh, no. Oh, that's Bob Orton. They're going to double team. They're going to do it to him again. Orndorff trying to hold his own in there. It'll be impossible with these two. Get him! Get him! Get him! Get him, yelling, get him, get him, get him! Santana's coming in. All kind of forces in there. My goodness. Wrestler after wrestler pouring in this ring to tear those two apart. Somewhere in that pile is Paul Orndorff and Roddy Piper. And you can bet they're ripping and tearing out. Oh, wait a minute. Orndorff just hit him with a... Orton hit him with a boot. Well, now they have him separated. Trying to keep these two separated is almost an impossible job. Look at this.
It looks like everybody in there. All these people, there's enough. A ring full of wrestlers. Seems like they just can't keep them apart. That's how Orndorff and, oh my, Roddy Piper really trying to get to each other. Look at this.
All kind of, oh, I got a cheap shot in it. Piper got a cheap shot in it. And meanwhile, Bobby the Brain Heenan. Look at Orndorff. He wants some. Boy, would he like to have Roddy Piper back in there.
Well, the man responsible for that, Bobby the Brain Heenan, was on this very program with that same $25,000 bounty just last week.
That's exactly right. Matter of fact, it's the exact same chair that Bobby Heenan was fired in. You know, ever since Heenan's put that $25,000 bounty on my head, I've had the studs, the Moroccos, the Link, the Funks. Everybody's been trying to put me out. You just saw Roddy Piper interfere in my match. This is what's been going on. I got 2 broken fingers right here from Bob Orton's cast trying to block it. This is what I've been putting up with, and it's all coming to a head, man. I don't care where they're at or what I have to do. I don't care if I gotta hurt somebody. It's come to the point that I don't care anymore. Mr. Wonderful doesn't care anymore. I don't care what I have to do. Just bring them on, one by one, and I'm still standing tall, Piper. I'm still standing tall, Heenan, and everybody else. This has got to stop somewhere along the line. Myself and Hogan were sick and tired of it.
Get a hold of yourself, Paul. We want you to stay here. I want to show you some more footage. We'll be back as we continue with more TNT. Stay with us, and Paul Orndorff hopefully will also stay with us. We'll be back. All right, back with more TNT, and we thank you very much for collecting yourself together and staying with us. And we'd like to discuss a little bit more. What does it? I'm not trying to get you going again here, Paul, but what does it feel like to have a bounty placed on your head? That's never been done before in the World Wrestling Federation.
Well, that's true. What we're talking about $25,000.
It's a lot of money.
We're talking about people that would. And I'll say this, they would honestly sell their own mother down the river. And we're talking about the Pipers and the Ortons and the Moroccos and the Links. You're talking about people that don't care. I mean, they'll do anything to make a reputation. Right now, Mr. Wonderful's the #1 man around here. You know, he's hot right now. So they're going to try to knock me off, try to get me out of here. Well, it hasn't been working.
Does it concern you that you get into a situation, I would think, where it's a $25,000 bounty, you get into a situation where when you get into the ring, someone may not be trying to win a match. They may be trying just to win the $25,000. So, I mean, they have different motivations. I don't think they really care sometimes if, in fact, they were going to lose a match as long as they collected the $25,000.
And that means getting rid of me.
That's right.
That means putting me out of here. That's not going to happen.
All right,
as long as I got a breath in this body, nobody's going to put me out of here. Not no one.
What we would like to do is to take you in. I know you're going to get upset over this. Let's take you to some footage. It's Paul Orndorff, Roddy Piper in the Capitol Center in the nation's capital.
That was involved in this matchup, Gene. They should have just taken the referee out of there and let everything go till the whistle blows, and whoever's still on their feet is the winner.
But I'll tell you what. Look at this. Look at this.
Orndorff with a nice bridge getting to his feet. Whoa, ring my bell.
Oh, boot to the midsection, turns Piper around. Piper swinging.
Wow, look at that shot.
Back of the head.
I think Piper's out. He's in dreamland just about.
That could have done it. Got to be seeing stars, I know that.
Kicked right in the back of the head. Uh-oh, Orndorff gets thrown out once more, deliberately by Piper. Oh, Piper, he's got a leg hook. And now Piper's coming out. He's holding on to the referee.
Watch out. Oh, no.
Rams Piper's head Look out! He clobbered him with that table.
Oh, did he ever? Oh, no.
Orndorff going bananas here.
Yes, he ever.
Center. And both men now back into the ring. Beautiful knee lift by Piper.
Oh, watch this.
Pandemonium breaking loose here.
The Cap Center has come on glowed this week with World Wrestling Federation action set up on a possible suplex.
Oh, nice
Piper
block there.
tries to counter with a block and a potential small package.
Beautiful late counter, but he did manage to get him up and get him over. And Piper wisely getting those feet on that bottom rope.
Piper saved right there, but when you meet a man as intense as Roddy Piper, I mean, that's...
You know something? It doesn't really matter. I don't care where, any place, any time, 365 days. You keep paying me the money I'm making, and I don't care where I'm wrestling. That's what it boils down to. It boils down to putting people out there, and people want to see what's going on between us, because we are two out there that's going after each other's tooth and nails. He's trying to put me out. I'm trying to put him out. And I think I'm going to do it
But
before
such a
it's
match
over with.
like that, Paul, has
That's
to take
right. It's going to get worse, too. They've been nothing but fights.
It's got to take a tremendous toll on Piper as well as yourself. I mean, a tremendous toll. How do you recuperate after a match like that? I mean, that just has to take this starch right out of you, doesn't it?
It doesn't bother me. I'm in condition. I can take anything he throws at me. I don't care what it is, because I'm an athlete, and I'm out there to do a business. I'm out there for a cause, and that's to put him out. For what he's done and everything that's came down, he's asked for everything that he's done. He's made his bed, now he's going to sleep in it, buddy.
All right, let me ask you this. For the first time, I think, in your personality, we see, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm not saying this is not justified, but we see, I think, a bit of bitterness on your part. Are you bitter about what's happening?
Sure. I mean, we're talking about we were tag team partners. We had a bond that we would stick together through heck or high water. It makes no difference. That's what we said to each other. We ride down the roads together, talk over things, and he broke that bond. Whether it be a doctor, a lawyer, whatever it may be, you stick together, and he broke it. And now he's going to pay for it. It wasn't my fault. Nothing that went on was my fault.
Paul, we thank you very much for joining us. We'll be back with more TNT. Back with more TNT. Conspicuous by his absence is Lord Alfred Hayes, and perhaps justifiably so, due to the nature of our next guest, about ready to enter the area, if you would. A gentleman by the name of Jimmy Hart, manager, of course, of the Hart Foundation, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, and along with Bret Hitman Hart, would you please welcome the Hart Foundation. What are you holding there, Mr. Hart?
Oh, hey, look, you know, you go to any magazine store in the world, you know, what do you see? The Hart Foundation, baby. Look at this. Can you get a close-up of this, guys? Come on, that's right. Get the camera down. Wake. Oh, there you go. Letting it look great, huh? The Hart Foundation.
How sweet it is, Jimmy.
I love it.
Well, as far as this particular combination of a Neidhart Hart, I'd assume you have your goals set perhaps on the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team title, do you not?
Definitely. Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt about it, baby. We are ready, aren't we, guys? Aren't we, Jimbo?
Yes, but Jimmy, what's happened to this chump's partner in crime over here, Lord Alfred Hayes? Where's that chump?
He's going right back. You know, I told them, and they also saw exactly what happened to me. You know, Lord Alfred, he had the junkyard dog out here, 3 or 4 weeks ago that dumped a big pail of water on my head. Well, from now on, I've got my own bodyguards. Wherever I go, the Hart Foundation will be with me from now on.
And there won't be any more of that hanky-panky going on around here, Jimmy.
Then again, there is always hanky-panky. However, when you gentlemen step into the ring, I think you can't deny that. Perhaps to prove the point, we'll take you to some videotape footage. Joe Murdo and Canadian former football star George Wells.
Oh, look, he's yelling in that megaphone. Perhaps it does. I don't think he'd want to show that sign to Neidhart, though.
I tell you what, if I was in the ring and that Jimmy Hart came with that megaphone, I think I'd be tempted to jump down the ring and shove that thing down his throat. That's very irritating.
I bet it would fit.
Oh. Meanwhile, there's George Wells and Brett. Look at him. This George Wells is quite a wrestler. He really moves well.
He can go, George Wells can, as well as his opponent right there. Bret Hart going downstairs. Oh, look at that. Yes, but look. That's the way that they function as a unit. And they are, without a doubt, one of the... Oh, my! Look at that, would you? Whoa, oh, my!
Fantastic move. Yes, sir. Whoa, beautiful arm drag. Boy, this George Wells can really move. There's that football tackle of his.
Just as I was stating that Neidhart and Hart function quite well as a unit, then from there they collide together thanks to George Wells. And oh my, look at that. Neidhart interfering in the matchup. Oh yeah, George Wells going to work on Neidhart. Now tags Big Joe Murdo. Headbutt by Neidhart. Oh, wow, that drop kick.
What a move. Slingshots him to Bret Hart, and boom, what a beautiful drop kick. Murdo's hurt, and look at this. This is on takes power.
Oh, fly off the top rope. Down into the side of the neck. And the anvil, Neidhart, in complete control over Big Joe Murdo at the moment. Ooh. The Hart Foundation. It is tough. I'll tell you, it's a tough combination.
Sure is.
Neidhart and Bret Hart. Meanwhile, Jimmy Hart is just driving you nuts with that bloody bullhorn.
Sure can.
Look at this! Oh, my, forget about it. No one could survive that attack, and lights out for Big Joe Murdo.
All right. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Looking so good. Look at this, baby. Great.
Mr. Hart, we saw that, notwithstanding the physical prowess that was obvious on the part of Neidhart and Hart, one thing that we see you now that really is most disturbing, certainly most annoying from a fan standpoint, and perhaps gives you an unfair advantage. There was reference to you using that bullhorn around the ringside.
What?
I mean, it's most annoying, certainly from a fan standpoint.
Annoying? Listen, you think I'm annoyed, they're annoyed, everybody's annoyed. Let me tell you something, man. I'm giving instructions to my men. This is the greatest team in the history of professional wrestling today, baby. The Hart Foundation. And I promise you this, when we get our chance, we're going to be the next world heavyweight champions. Am I right or wrong?
You're right, Jimmy. You know, let me say one thing. You know, since the WWF is so popular across the United States, all of a sudden, everyone is an expert on professional wrestling. You know that, Jimmy?
That's right.
You say, what about the horn? What about this? What about tactics? Everyone is an expert, right, Brett?
That's right. Everybody's an expert.
A know-it-all.
All right, well, perhaps, certainly everyone is entitled to their view.
Oh, and everyone's seems to have one.
Right?
Doctors come on TV, start saying things about professional wrestling, this and that. What about the horn? Hey, we're the pros. We're the experts, right, Jimmy?
That's right,
Yes,
baby.
but aside from, I know you gentlemen enjoy competition, do you not?
Oh, well, competition, as in Brett's family, goes down through many, many years in his family of intense.
No doubt of that. We can see that you enjoy competition, but this really takes the fun out of it than if there's no competition, right?
Oh, that's what Jimmy always tells us. No matter what you guys do out there, you've always got to have fun. And that's what we like to do, right, Jimmy?
That's right, baby. We love to have fun.
Wouldn't you agree then that it's somewhat of an unfair situation to allow your manager to be able to communicate with you directly while you're in the ring with the use of this bullhorn, when in essence, your opposing team's manager would not be able to communicate? Isn't that an unfair advantage?
They don't appreciate us, so then they yell at us, they call us all kinds of names. We can't hear our manager.
That's
we
right.
can't get a message across.
You know, just shows you we're one step ahead of everybody, Vince. You're going to find that the youngest manager in the history of professional wrestling in the WWF, the youngest team in the history of professional wrestling in the WWF, and I promise you before it's all over, we're going to be the youngest team to ever win the World Heavyweight Championship belts.
All right, let's then balance this off then. I mean, you know that the skills of Wyndham and Rotundo, the current tag team champions. How do you compare your skills with the skills of the champions?
I wouldn't throw a comparison between us and them at all. We're so far superior in extreme agility and wrestling ability right here and the strength with the anvil. How could you even throw a comparison out like that?
That's right, and they've got a disadvantage.
Another expert, Jimmy.
They've got a disadvantage. Captain Lou Albano's with
Know it
them.
all.
They've got Lou hanging around.
All right, well, we thank you very much for joining us on TNT, and we'll be back, and joining us again will be Lord Alfred Hayes. Stay with us for more. Mr. Funk.
A Yankee dude and a British pervert.
Well, I didn't think of... Boy, when you stop laughing, these are your friends here.
They're cowboys, aren't they? All cowboys are my friends. Do you know the difference between a Texas Brandon and a WWF Brandon? In Texas, we brand cattle. And in the WWF, we brand jackasses! Laugh! Laugh! Shut up!
Well, what we'd like to do is take you to some videotape footage. And we will actually show a branding of a sort that I've never seen before, ever done in the World Wrestling Federation, an actual branding at the end of this match. Let's take you now to the videotape footage of Terry Funk.
Paul Roma and Terry Funk.
Well, this should be a good matchup. Terry Funk, a tough guy, real tough guy from Texas, and Paul Roma always makes a good account of himself in that ring, and wow, did you see that?
Yes,
Terry Funk
I
just
did.
slapped his face.
Sure did, I'll tell you. Collar elbow hookup right there. Oh, look at that. Wow. Look at that. Hit him again. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Jesse. I'll tell you.
And we're gonna get ourselves a boxing match or a street fight here pretty quick, Jack. The rules are gonna go out the window, I think.
Oh boy, I'll tell you, Paul Roma gave him a couple of slaps, and I have a feeling that before this match is over, I think Roma's gonna hear from Terry Funk. Side headlock, look at that, hair pull, elbow smash to the back of the neck, another elbow. Oh, did you hear that? An elbow smash. Now Funk, look at that. Oh, he caught him good with the boots, too.
Well, Funk knows how to use those boots. Funk's very well educated in wrestling.
He's got him up on top.
Tough guy.
Look at that, atomic drop. Oh.
Head first right into that buckle.
Pulling the hair, look at that. Oh, this is, I'll tell you, this match is, you talk about physical. Woo. There goes Paul Roma. Oh, he's out. He's out of the ring right now. Listen to Terry. I can hear Funk hollering. Can you hear him hollering, Jess?
Yeah, I can hear him hollering. I don't know exactly what he's saying, Jack. I hear get up something or other, and I'm not hearing the word, but the fans are definitely getting on Terry Funk here.
Well, he took him back into the ring.
The fans are chanting for the JYD, the Junkyard Dog.
Yeah, look at this. Try for a whip and a reverse by Paul Roma. Roma going after Funk right now. It looked like a headbutt. It was a headbutt.
A second one. 3 in a row, and that drops Roma.
There he is. Oh, you talk about a man. Look at that big body slam by Terry Funk. Coming down and nothing doing. Roma able to move out of the way, but Funk coming right back with another body slam. And nothing doing again.
Well, Paul Roma's in there. He's making a real game of it. A beautiful small package.
Look at that. 1, 2. Oh, my goodness. What an upset this would have been.
Well, I'll tell you, Jack, Paul Roma's capable of beating anyone on any given day.
Exactly. Funk right now. Look at this. He's got him up there. He's got him up there. Oh, my goodness.
He spun him around about 5 or 6 times up there on top of the big back suplex.
Look at that. A knee to the throat area. That was quite a suplex, Jesse. Uh-oh, there he goes with that patented move of his.
That's his Texas spinning toe hold.
That's it. The Texas spinning toe hold, and a referee is called for the bell. That's quite a maneuver, Jesse.
Well, Terry Funk set that up with that big, big suplex.
He had him up there, didn't he?
I believe he could have pinned Mr. Roma after the suplex. He put the spinning toe hold on just for good measure.
The winner of the match, Terry Funk.
Where's the Brandon? Where's the Brandon?
I thought that was a particularly distasteful act, and I took it upon myself to
They
cut it
didn't
out.
see the Brandon?
I cut it out.
Do you want me to brand you?
No, I don't.
Jackass!
We'll be back with more
I just took
TNT.
it
Stay
out.
with us.
Where's it?
Well, Mr. Funk, back here in the...
You know, I never met a Yankee that wasn't a pig-eyed, pig-nosed airhead.
Mr. Funk, I don't know anyone in professional wrestling that has an attitude like you. I don't know a single soul that has an attitude quite like yours. Alfred?
Because I'm middle-aged and crazy like a fox? Is there anything wrong with that attitude?
Well, you have no
Mr.
dignity.
Hayes?
You have no dignity.
You jackass.
Please, don't try to... Don't demean Alfred. Alfred's a nice guy. Don't you know Alfred?
He knows me. I know him too, and he's always been the same. He'll never change.
What's wrong with me?
Your whole family was the same.
Well,
The whole
please,
family,
Alfred,
hey, don't talk about my family.
Alfred.
Don't ever mention my family.
All right, apologize.
I was Texas bred and Texas
Hey, Tony,
fed.
thank you. Tony, how you doing, pal? Come on in.
All right.
How you doing? Have a seat. Thanks for joining us again.
Just in time.
Earlier on, of course, Tony Garea with us, earlier in TNT, and glad to have you back. This is a little different environment than New Zealand, isn't it?
It certainly is. It certainly is.
Aren't you going to be
New
a bit hospitable and asking for a
see you,
beer? Or
Tony.
asking
Nice to see you.
Hey,
Going
Donna!
away from my AIDS, all right?
Honey, bring us some beer.
Be very
All the way
nice.
around, honey.
It is a totally different environment.
It certainly is, and I'm rather enjoying it. It's very unique.
You never have been around such a nice environment before, being from New Zealand, have you?
I've been around a few nice ones, Mr. Funk.
Nice
A
what?
few nice environments.
Thank you, Don.
You're a gentleman.
And the environments are getting a lot nicer.
Really? Here,
Definitely.
I think this one, yeah, that one for Tony.
That's a special
And what might your name be?
You know, Mr. Funk,
Donna. It's a
how would you
beautiful
draw
name.
comparisons? Have you ever been to New Zealand?
Never been to New Zealand.
Where?
You've never been to
New Zealand. Have you ever been to New Zealand?
No.
Well, that's
Born and
some of the
bred.
land in New Zealand is a little bit like
I've never
West
seen
Texas,
anything like
actually, from
this,
what
not in New
from what
Zealand.
I understand. Mr. Funk,
What?
First time?
talking about some of the geographic.
Geographic.
Yes.
Wow.
Geography. I minored in geography.
Very well, then you'll know a little bit something about New Zealand as compared to West Texas, then, won't you?
Very, very nice.
What brings you to Texas?
Mr. Funk, it's a little difficult carrying on a conversation
We have some bear tea for you here.
with you from time to time.
I'll show you some beer.
See you later. Have a good time.
Okay, Tony. See you. Again, let's talk a little bit. You've toured the entire world, have you not? Wrestling all over the entire world. And but Mr. Funk, are you with us?
Oh, there's a lot of cattle here.
Just a minute.
Mr. Funk, could you please come back? What a mess we have here. I mean, a real mess. Thanks to Terry Funk, who apparently has no regard whatsoever to property. That's obvious, and certainly no regard for the well-being of Tony Garea.
Well, everything happened so fast. He's jealous. He's jealous not only of women, as I told you before. His family is the same. Look at that. I just started a drink, and that was dashed out of my hands. And Funk crept behind Garea there. It was a sneak move.
That was the thing. He left.
Cowardly
That
move.
was. It really was cowardly. And I think I would think somewhat unlike Terry Funk. I mean, he's supposed to be a big, brave sort of individual. He left us. I'll be right back, he said. And he walked over, grabbed a whiskey bottle off the table next door, apparently, and came up. When we turned around, he was behind Garea. I mean, it wasn't as if he said, hey, turn around or something like that. Rallied right behind him and let him have it. I mean, Tony is not in good shape.
No, and another thing, notice, he did it while all his friends were here, didn't he? He didn't do it while Tony Garea's friends were here. I noticed that, too.
Good point. And the other thing was everyone cheering for him.
Yes, that was it. Oh, I couldn't understand that. But they're all Texans, I suppose. They stick together. I don't know, but I wouldn't think that a good Texan would appreciate that anyway.
I wouldn't think that a good anything would appreciate what Mr. Funk has been doing, and I would suggest that some sort of measure of action is going to be taken against him.
Well, in the past we have done that, and I would like to see something like that happen, but I'd rather see Garea sort the whole thing out for himself. Go to the source. Let us have some ruling on that, and let us see if Garea wants to do something about it.
No doubt Tony got a little taste of what happens or what possibly can happen, apparently, in a Texas sort of a situation. Maybe now Mr. Funk will get a little taste of what can happen in terms of New Zealand retribution.
Yeah.
In any event, till next week when we'll have more, hopefully not any more of this, we invite you to join us for next week's TNT. So long, everyone.